Hello everyone! Last week we talked in our video about traveling as a US citizen and as a green card holder. Today we're going to be talking about traveling from and back into the US if you have a visa. I'm Raluca Hania. I provide immigration, business, and estate planning legal services. I'm here with Nina Clear, my office and marketing manager. Thank you all for your comments, likes, and shares as they help more people to see my video. And also, if you post your questions, we are happy to answer them.
Okay, so before the visa, the important stuff, Raluca got her hair cut. Look how great it looks.
Do you like it?
It's very different, right?
Yes.
So for the holiday, she's getting prettier. Okay, so we may all know what a visa is when we work in immigration, but perhaps for those who don't, can you explain it for us?
Sure. Yes, a visa is issued to someone who is a citizen of a foreign country that wants to enter the United States. They are either a non-immigrant visa for a temporary stay or an immigrant visa if you come here and you move as a permanent resident.
And the visas are the alphabet, so we're not going to cover each one, right?
Yes, it's a whole alphabet of type of visas that US issues. Hi, Roxy. And
do you like her hair?
So, but we'll talk now more about the tourist visa.
Okay.
Since it's the most common one.
And with that, do they get them for both business and pleasure?
Yes, the visitor visas are for business, tourism, or a combination of both. And there are also visa for students.
Which is another big category.
It's
so that's kind of where we mentioned it. Okay. So I know you mentioned this last week, but it's always very vital to you and bears repeating. What do you hope that every person understands about the visa in their passport?
So it's very important to understand that when you get a visa, it will be valid for a certain numbers of years. Often it's 10 years. But this does not mean that you can stay in the United States for the entire 10 years. It only means that you do not need to reapply for a visa again to come back in the US. Hi, Roxy. A visa is for a limited time, and if you overstay that time, you are considered out of status, and it may impact your ability to get a green card or apply to become a citizen. So visas might be valid for one entry or for multiple entries. That you can check that by reviewing your the visa stamp in your passport.
And there is a site I'll put a link to, and it shows you kind of how to read the visa and which part you would look at that tells you that category.
Exactly.
Yeah. So because they're different letters, so M or R or whatever it is, tells you if you can come in more than once. So if you overstay the time that the border agent tells you you should be here, so you're now out of status, what happens when you leave the US?
When you leave the US, depending on how long you were in the US out of status, you will have a 3 to 10 years ban on being able to enter back again, including being able to apply for a green card or any other type of visa.
So you could be banned from trying to get a visa even?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So for how long can you stay in the US if you enter under a visa?
So it is 100% dependent on the customs agent who allows you to enter. That is why you need to check the date on the I-94 website that we will post the link for.
Okay, and you've told me this in the past, and I am just shocked that this is possible. But they don't even need to approve that you can stay until your plane leaves, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, when you come with a temporary visa, so when you come in, you need to show that you are going to leave, right? Your intention is to leave. So you need to show your return ticket. but the agent doesn't need to approve you to stay for that whole entire time. If they have a suspicion or they just think something, they just don't, it's up to them how long they allow you to stay. So they can say, no, I'm just going to let you come in for 2 weeks instead of 2 months.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And if it wasn't clear, again, we're trying to make this really clear to everybody that people need to know that a visa doesn't guarantee entry into the United States.
That's right. It is merely a permission for a foreign national to travel to a port of entry, and then a Homeland Security or Border Security agent determines if you are allowed to enter.
Okay. And then what about, so they put the visa in your passport, and what happens if that passport expires? Well, but the visa is still valid.
Yes, and it happens pretty often. Then you will need to travel with both passports. The expired one that has the valid visa and the current one that you travel with. As long as the visa isn't damaged, you don't need to apply for a new one, even if the passport it's stamped in is expired.
And don't rip that visa out and start carrying it with the other one, right?
No, don't.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay, so let's move on to traveling in and out if you're here on a visa, in and out of the U.S. So it sounds like you just leave and then you come back, and if they let you back in, you're good.
Yes.
But is there anything you have to do?
Well, every visa has restrictions placed on it. While it is true that you usually can travel in and out, it is best to check before you leave. We can review that type of visa. We can review what type of visa you are here with. If you want to come for a consultation, or you can contact the consulate of your country and determine if you have any restrictions for travel.
And I don't know if this is helpful for your audience, but it might be helpful to mention why a Customs or Homeland Security agent might not let you back in.
Just to remind everyone, and we talked about this before, they don't have to have a reason as to why they don't want to let you in. So the law says it's up to their discretion. So entering the U.S. as a visitor, even if you have a visa, is a privilege and not a right. But if you commit a crime in another country, you probably won't be allowed back into U.S. Also, many issues with drugs or prostitution are likely to cause you to be denied entry, as could some medical conditions as well. Same if you, like I mentioned before, if you overstayed your visa, and thus you have violated the U.S. immigration law before. So thank you for watching, and tomorrow we are going to talk about traveling out of the United States if you are here under DACA. Plus, I'll talk about a way that if you do travel and return, you may be able to apply for a different status. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are going to have some amazing limited quantity Black Friday deals that we'll be sending out in the emails. And if you would like to get your email on our list, please send us a private message with your email so we can add it. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.